trying to manipulate you to believe what they believe, or they are really sincere. You will be able to tell the difference. It depends on certain things or certain characteristics of a person, and I believe that. And I'm going to read these 10 right there. Okay. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to let you guys go because I wanted to just give you a definition. It's going to take a little time, but it's very interesting to understand agenda so you can understand people and you can understand a better understanding of things when it comes your way, okay? Some days, I'm quoting, some days it seems as if being transparent and trustworthy is a long lost art. And on days when you see sense, and on days when you sense some unscrupulous soul is trying to manipulate you, don't you know? Please, trying to manipulate you for their own selfish reason. Now, these are hidden agendas, okay? I'm gonna break this down and I'm gonna use it as a nation. It can cause you to lose faith in humanity. But how can you be sure that someone is wielding a hidden agenda like a cudgel or coercion, and how to spot it quickly? Look for these 7 signs that put one in your own up. I said 10, but it says 7, but I don't know. It's what it is. Let me go back to the beginning. It's in 10 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 10 minutes how you can spot somebody that's trying to manipulate you or has a hidden agenda. But it's 7 ways you can spot them out in 10 minutes, okay? Look at these 7 signs that put one of your own up and stop. Let me read that again. Look at these 7 signs that put one of your own up and stop. You know, I don't understand what you mean by that, but I'm going to read these 7 ways that you can spot somebody in 10 minutes if they have agenda, and then I want you to go from there and you come up to your own conclusion. Okay? The number one, when someone has a hidden agenda, listen to this closely, body of Christ. If someone has a hidden agenda against you, this is the one of the number one ways to find out. Okay? The conversation quickly becomes about and stays about them. Now, you ever ran in and talked to somebody like that? They just kept it on themselves. No matter what you said, it came right back to them. Okay? Number one is the conversation quickly becomes about and stays about them. Okay? And then let me read his definition of that. I'm not talking about people who are just self-centered or narcissists. Now, narcissists is somebody just never wrong, think they know everything. I mean those who keep redirecting conversations back to them, sometimes with skilled sags, sometimes with a blatant flip of a switch. Those with hidden agendas are on a mission, and their impatience often seeps through the cracks. Now, you understand what he's saying? When a person you're talking to, or a group you're talking to, has a hidden agenda, first of all, it's going to always lead back to them, or what they're trying to do, or what they feel is right. That's another point. Another one is they'll keep redirecting a conversation back to them. You could talk about different things, or you could try to have a broader way of looking at both sides, like I was talking about. You need to look at both sides when you're believing in something. You know, study it, research both sides. But a manipulator, when a person has a hidden agenda, they use manipulation, and their conversation will always lead back to them or the subject that they're talking about. That's another sign that they have a hidden agenda. Okay, sometimes with skill saves, sometimes with the blatant flip of a switch. Those with hidden agendas are on a mission, and their impatience often seeps through the cracks. If you pay attention, when somebody has a hidden agenda or trying to manipulate it to believe something or go their way, it's going to slip out. You're going to see it. They're going to get frustrated, okay? The second way is they constantly revisit a certain subject. No different than the number one way. They always go back to the certain subject that they started off with. That's another red flag that they have an agenda to manipulate you, or, you know, have you to think a certain way or do a certain thing that they want you to do, okay? Okay. This one track mindedness is the most telltale sign of a hidden agenda. Okay, one track minded. And don't get me mad when I say this, but most liberal thinking is one track. Most liberal thinkers, they don't have a broad way of thinking. They get one track, they believe in something. They're very emotional. They don't do research, and they have a one mindset. So a lot of times they kind of narcissistic as well. Not all liberals, but a lot of liberals, especially the deep thinkers, they just have their mindset on one thing. You cannot change it. So that when they mindset on one thing, they have one thing in common: their goal of pursuing it. No matter what you say, it doesn't make any difference. That's another sign of a hidden agenda. They keep leading back to what they're talking about or their belief. It's about achieving the mission for these people. So it doesn't benefit them with the conversation when the conversation strays away from a direct route to getting what they want. They keep redirecting what you're saying, even though they know it makes sense. They don't care about that because why? They have an agenda. They have a plan. They have a one-way mind of thinking one way. Here's a simple test I run when I'm suspicious of being manipulated. Okay, and I'm quoting, I'm reading. This is not me saying this. Here's a simple test I run when I'm suspicious of being manipulated and notice that the same topic keep resurfacing. I ask myself, was that a natural or nuanced redirect? You just can't accuse nobody. You have to keep saying, why does this person keep going back to that same subject? Keeps falling back on them. Are they trying to lead me to what they believe? It happens, and a lot of things happen in debates. Or some people could be talking about a certain thing that they disagree with, and they use you as a straw man. I'm gonna get into the definition of what a straw man means. That means they use you as a straw man of what they think you are really saying, and it leads back to them or their belief. So that's another sign when they keep redirecting you back to themselves or their topic or what they believe. That's a sign of a hidden agenda that keep going a certain way or a certain topic. I can think of times when I listen to certain debates on the radio, you know, and not on radio or television or whatever, or people in general. And the ones usually doing all the talking always bothered me because they cut you off. They never let you get your words through. And the people say, yeah, they clapping for them because they sound good. You got these certain manipulated talkers that's on television, and they're good at what they're doing. That I'm not saying they're truthful. I'm not just saying they well researched, but what they are researched on is how to manipulate you. They ask questions more than they give answers. Let me say that again. Most leftists, or far left liberals, and you got some righties that does that too. But I'm just talking about most leftists or liberals. They ask questions more than they give answers because they don't have an answer of what they believe in because they have a goal, they have a hidden agenda, what they're trying to push on you. Okay, that's anybody that does. If a conservative do that, they can have a hidden agenda as well. A conservative, a Christian can have a hidden agenda of trying to force you to believe what they believe. They can force the Bible on you and don't want to hear what you have to say, even though you could be right what you're saying, but you never force it on nobody. It's called manipulation. You let them just find out. If they don't want to study, if they don't want to find out themselves, do that. But don't keep leading into your topic of why you think they should follow a certain way. And I'm talking about Christians now, because we're guilty of that as well, but not as bad as most left wings or narcissist people. Okay, so that's another sign of a hidden agenda. Okay, remember I'm talking about hidden agendas. Number 3, this is a big one. Their eye contact and body language are off. Remember I was saying that? Look at people, and I have learned this, to look at people's eye contact and body language. I'm not saying I'm a master in that because I'm not, but something's just common sense. Okay, let me read what he says about it. People working in a quiet agenda or a hidden agenda will have a harder time making eye contact. They might blink excessively and might have stiff, unnatural body language. Okay, and I'm keep reading. Researchers from Michigan State University show that those who avoid eye contact are far likelier to be insincere in what they are communicating than someone who looks you in the eye. I'm betting that your experience confirms this too. When you're connecting with someone in an exchange of open and honest conversation, eye contact is maintained without effort and the body relaxes. But this is someone else believes, another researcher believes this. You can't fall for that all the time. I'm quoting. Don't fall for the old shifty eyes myth, though. And this is his reason why. Research from City University of New York psychology professors Howard and Ruckman and Dragana Misick sought to determine. Now, I might not pronouncing these words right, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Sought to determine why people move their eyes when thinking or communicating. This is another way where people does that. Their work indicates that eye movers aren't necessarily lying or trying to be deceptive. They are merely accessing their long-term memory. Okay, what he's saying. Yeah, there is some truth in body language and people not looking you in the eyes and everything. I don't look everybody in the eyes all the time. Don't mean I'm lying, but at the same time, you can look you could that's part of the way a person is manipulating you or they're lying and not telling the truth or something like that. But it also means they can be in a deep thought. Now, I can be in a deep thought sometimes, and sometimes my words don't come out right, and I can stumble over my words because I'm thinking of the right way to say it or the right word to pronounce it. And I'm a body mover. And I move my bodies a lot. Doesn't mean I'm lying or trying to lie. It just means I'm having a hard time defining what I'm trying to say. So if you notice, if you be around me, I move my hands a lot and my eyes shift around a lot, or I'm trying to explain things. Doesn't mean I'm trying to be shifty, but you got to be discerned about that when a person is trying to manipulate it by not looking at you and their body language moves a certain way compared to a person that's in a deep thought like myself and others that's trying to explain myself. You can also be shifty eyed and at the same time shy. Some people just shy. I used to be shy growing up. I cannot look you right in the eyes, but that's if I said I can now, but back then I couldn't, and right now my body goes everywhere, and my hands, you can't see me when I'm trying to express myself because I'm trying to explain myself, and that I have to have a deep thought because some people are good speakers like the Thomas Souls and Larry Elders and the different, you got a lot of orators out there that speak well, and they just stand there. I'm not one of them, so I'm a deep thinker. I mean, I'm thinking, my hands are moving, I'm getting it out there and everything, and I'm trying to get you to understand what I am trying to say, far as that. So you can't go by the eye contact all the time, but that's one of the signs, okay? Number 4, they have oversized reactions to certain suggestions. Ooh, man, I done ran into that before, and people done got mad, and they just keep cutting me off, but I had to just stay calm. They have oversized reactions to certain suggestions, meaning those with a secret agenda are taking a risk and operating with one, so they might be a bit on edge. One way of thinking, they're going to be on edge because they don't have nothing to fight back. They don't have no history. They don't have nothing. So it's only one way. There's one goal they have in their mind, while others have a broader goal because they're looking at all four sides, or they're looking at different sizes or different ways of looking at things, while a person with an agenda already has their agenda. They're not looking at no other way to bail out. They're looking at just conquering what they want to do. Most of them. You might see them become a bit frantic. I noticed that, or overly emotional at anything that derails them from their desire. They have desired end goal. That's a hidden agenda. They don't want you to know. They might say something else, but they'll give themselves away because they keep going back to that certain topic or where they think things should be looked at. Their emphatic use of emotions is intended to shut down conversation and opposition of their goals. They don't want to hear your side. They already stuck in their goals, so they keep asking you questions. Why is this? Why is this? What do you think about that? Why do you this? Why this? Why this? Like a child does sometimes. They will not accept your side. They will not accept how you look at things. They only look at it one way. Why? Why? It's always why, because they're trying to manipulate it to believe what they want to believe, and sometimes that work. Okay, if the size of their reaction doesn't match the provocativeness of your comment, be wary. In other words, let me read that again. If the size of their reaction doesn't match the provocativeness of your comment, be wary. Watch out for that. Okay, number 5. They cycle through different tactics with the same end in mind. That's almost self-explanatory. They go through different tactics, but they're saying it comes down to the same goal. You should be able to catch that if you're paying attention. Your explorative counterpart might swing from highly emotional about a point of nonchalant. They might use one line of thinking that you don't take to, and then switch gears to come at the same point from a different angle. They always come back to the same point, the same topic when they have a hidden agenda. When they have a hidden agenda, they always come back to the same point. They always come back to the same point, okay? So you keep your radar up if you're dealing with someone who already has a disingenuous vibe about them. You have a slimy feeling after talking with them. That's another sign. That's number 7. So those are the 7 things that's going on that this article talks about when someone has a hidden agenda. I mean slimy to oppose the warm feeling you have after talking to someone. If you have a funny feeling, you don't feel right, and you feel like they wasn't listening to you, but they wanted you to hear